whipping out their jewelry.
Well, we got no
I was
choice
like,
now.
I know. I
We
was like,
are live.
no,
The
I
pressure is
know.
on. Guys, thank you so much for joining us for the Great Bead Trade. My name is Neelay Patel. I'm the owner, designer, and educator at SilverSilk and more. And I've got the beautiful, the talented, the wonderful Jamie Yoshida from the Bead Gallery Honolulu joining me for our co-video for this make-along, I guess. We're all just kind of beading together, and I feel like probably a few folks at home probably have their supplies spilled out and are in spirit with us today.
Oh
But
yeah, I
the
hope people are
Great
beading
Bead
with
Trade.
us.
Hmm.
I
What'd
said,
you
I hope
say?
people are beading with us. That kind of
Yes,
energy is so helpful.
I agree. I feel just feed that energy, that creative energy out, and then absorb it in, right? I loved
Yep.
what Sarah and Kay put together. Sarah whipped out this
Oh my gosh.
beautiful, this multi textural, multi everything. It was a gorgeous necklace design. Doesn't
And
surprise
then
me because
Kay
she's an
had,
amazing designer.
did you see what Kay was doing? Oh my gosh, she had three
She pulled out an
pieces.
entire runway show. All the pieces from someone. I'm impressed, but I'm also not surprised because we've got some pretty lean, mean designers in our little Great Bead Extravaganza group.
Yes. And then we have us. Are you ready? Because we have, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see what you're going to do. And
I
I'm
know.
excited because this is our first time to be together.
It is. Well, we've been on video together because we did an Instagram thing not too long ago, and that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of questions.
Oh, and you know what? Today we should take questions too. Is there a way we can see them if there are questions?
Yeah, I'm gonna pop over to the Facebook, and I've got some friends that are helping to share the wealth that this or
Awesome.
share this video at least, and I am going to pop up on the Great Beat Extravaganza group, and actually I can also see comments directly in here. We
Okay,
have
I'm
lots of
getting my
Facebook
trace out.
friends. Greta and Teresa are here. Lovely to see you ladies. Miss Lorraine says 2 high fives. I love that. Donna Moselli says hello. So if you guys have any questions out there in the bead world for us, then by all means, Jamie, I'm going to turn over to your camera. I got
All
my
right.
supplies kind of spilled out because I peeked in and I cheated already. So I kind of know what I want to do again because I'm very like laser focused on hopefully getting a design.
You're so funny. And I'm the total opposite because I decided that I wasn't going to peak. When we first started this project, I thought we are going to be like, surprise. And so then I kind of just went with that idea,
Mm-hmm.
thinking, oh, let's all be surprised. And then somewhere along the way, I know we were like, okay, no, we can open it and prep. But I just kept going on that frame of thought. So I am totally, I unzipped it long enough to go, oh, this is the stuff we're looking at. Rezipped it 2 weeks ago. And it's been on my desk since.
You are new to
So
this fun,
I
then.
have, so you know what's going to be like anybody who wins it? Because we have 2 people who can win this bag.
Oh yeah, that's
So
right.
they should definitely enter in the contest because then you can have that same feeling I'm about to have right
And
now.
remind
Like
us how
what
they entered
is in
again.
here?
I'm thinking
Okay,
that.
so on the Great Bead Extravaganza page, in the
Mhm.
announcements, or if you just scroll down through the discussion, there's going to be a form that you can fill out with your name, your email, and it's going to enter you. And then on Tuesday, I think they're going to do the poll of everyone who can win. So there's going to be 2 people who can win. There's going to be 2 bags, exactly like what I'm going to be unboxing. And I know Sarah unboxed this earlier, so I'm going to just save everybody the whole unboxing so that I can just get to it.
Yes. Yes. There was so many delicious materials in here from all of us. And it's kind of nice because I know everyone has had their hands to be able to pack. So like everything's been touched by the person that owns the company. So we have like this little part of everybody almost,
Yes.
which is kind of cool.
Our connecting beads. Every bead is like, we're like the beads on a necklace.
Yeah.
Okay, so So Nile, I don't know. Do you want to go over what everybody has, or you feel like they already did it? Like Sarah and Kay went through like whose is what. Do you want to
You
do that
know, I
too
think
as we
Sarah and Kay
design?
went over it very thoroughly, and I was impressed. And she had mentioned also the deals and coupons for today, which are going
Mm-hmm.
to be posted later after these videos are posted, if it's not already posted
Mm-hmm.
already in the Great Bead Extravaganza group. But I kind of wanted to talk through what materials we're individually using, unless you just wanted to pull out a K from your hat and create 7 different pieces in 15 minutes.
You know, I'm gonna try. I'm definitely gonna try. So I'm gonna unpack all my stuff while we chit chat about these things. And how's that? You want to talk about
That
some
sounds good to
design
me.
techniques to inspire everybody who's here, so we can kind of cover. I would love to talk about technique. I would love to talk about, I don't know, how to make something or how to even get inspired. I can't see my comments, sir. So if you see any comments with questions about design,
Yeah, I
technique,
can
or
do.
anything of that sort, let me know so I can address it, because, you know, I've been
Absolutely.
teaching for a good 20 plus years, and that's my jam, is like, what do you do when you have all these things, and how do you begin? Or
And it's
should I try
everyone
it
has
on
such a
you? Should
different
I?
thought process.
Yeah.
Well, we have some folks here that are helping. Kristen Fagan is on it with the sharing of links for our Great Bead Trade giveaway. Tracy is here, and she is saying that Kay set the bar pretty high. I think Sarah and Kay did, personally. I have this idea in my head, but it's also something that's very much achievable for the evening.
So you know what I did? I was watching part of it, but I didn't see the end because we were getting ready for our segment. So
Mhm.
luckily, I didn't see what they made. Because sometimes that does have an effect, right,
Oh.
on what you're about to do. When you see something and you're deliberately trying to make something different, something just like more, I wouldn't say expressive, but just,
Mm-hmm.
well, I, you know, I actually don't want to make something the same as everyone else, because if we're planning to use this as a fundraiser, we want to have like an
Yes,
assortment to put out there. So I did
absolutely.
not see, and wouldn't it be funny though if we did have so much of the same styles or the same ideas, because we are similar in that respect of how we love nature. We all love you know, very well designed pieces that are functional and not limited to just an occasion. I would say everyone has a great usable wearable style.
It's so true. We all have. It's funny. We all have the same materials, and yet I really do think we're going to end up with an assortment of designs. And um, bless whoever came up with the with the donation idea, because that never would have occurred to me to do something that cool. Um, so
Hey, you know
I
what's amazing? There's a lot of
yes.
leaves here.
I know. Yeah, and in fact, I wanted to. I got inspired by the stuff Kay sent over, which was the Japanese pearls and these little leaves and stuff. So I figured like I can try and figure out a way. And these really cool, I don't like primitive Tila beads. I don't know what to call them.
The primitive Tila beads. Which one is that? Where is your primitive Tila bead? Show me.
Show me your primitive Tila beads. But no, they're really cool. And so I wanted to do some bead weaving to assemble my necklace. So I'm going to show a little demonstration of how I'm going to do that. But in the meantime,
Okay.
I
Jason,
thought,
do you think you can pass me a couple containers?
Yeah,
I think I
sure.
can attach some of this stuff as little tassel components, and then have my. I'm going to do my traditional and highly
A little bit bigger, but you see it's
liked
overflowing.
no clasp design. I guess I'm
Okay.
the one who highly likes it, really, because I love a good no clasp design. But I'm using some soft flex wire, and of course their crimps, which I find absolutely flawless and the best ones out there on the market, bar none. And I wanted to combine it with some of my end caps, so I crimped it directly onto the end cap, and I'm going to string these guys right over it. Actually, I'm going to trim this off. I mean, it's one of those situations. I kind of know what I want to do. I definitely want to do a nice long lariat and again, just tie it at the bottom. But beyond that, we'll see what we come up with. That's really pretty.
Nile, this is funny. I'm sitting here watching you and I'm like, okay, I have now unboxed all my things. And I'm like, this is what I got. So, sir, kind sir, I've never used SilverSilk before. Would you tell me a little bit, like, will it stretch if I use it, like as a bracelet? Will I be okay?
It will not stretch because it is
Awesome.
so this is what I included in the kit was the Ember Pearlesque chain. And I made this myself with the machine. And it's got a layer, it's really a 2-layer chain. And 3 if you count the ball chain core. So it's got a gold ball chain core, that's an iron ball chain, and then knitted over that is a holographic tinsel. You can see that there's an orange-ish flare to this chain if you really look up close, and that's that holographic tinsel. And then knitted over both of those things is a sleeve made of wire that's as thin as human hair, 32 gauge. More specifically in antique copper. So when you do wear it, it won't fray, and when working with it, it won't fray. And it doesn't stretch because the ball chain is what keeps it nice and sturdy. It is extremely flexible because Kay once again surprised all of us and pulled out a barrel knot, which I might have to take one of those for my tutorials later on. That was just a clever idea and a beautiful use of it. And I am thankful that I had experienced that moment with her. But there's so much you can do with it. And in this case, it makes for a great necklace rope, again, as Sarah demonstrated. So I think I'm going to continue that trend with this design. That was a good question, though.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for letting me know. I am going to attempt. So, kind sir, if you wouldn't mind reminding me, we're supposed to use everything that comes with this kit, right? So I'm not going to go and run around looking for wires. Or no, we could.
You could definitely use elements from the kit. I don't think we ever really for sure said we have to use all the materials, from the kit to make something. I don't think that was necessarily the case. This is our first go around at it, so I feel like we can really make up the rules and just do whatever fun stuff
you know what
we
I'm
want.
gonna do then? I'm gonna try and make everything with everything that came in this kit. I'm gonna not stand up from this chair. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Well, let's see how I'm gonna do this. I want to do a triple strand bracelet with this. There's only enough findings for 1 strand that you have in this bag. So I'm gonna make my own findings right now and see if I can turn it into a triple. We'll see. That's going to be my goal.
I'm excited for your design.
I'm a little excited too.
Let me pan over to see if there's anything going on out there in the bead world. So Lorena Chamberlain is asking, sorry I'm late. How is everyone? How are you, Nile? We are doing good, girlfriend. We are just getting started with our design for the evening. Emily from Motorcraft says no clasp equals Nile. She's so true. She knows that, and many others do too, that sometimes I don't always have a clasp during my videos, my live videos. And so I just either say to my audience that pretend that there's a clasp there, or I just do a no clasp necklace.
When you wear jewelry, do you like having no clasp? That's
what makes this world amazing. I'm sorry, what did you say, Jamie?
Oh, when you wear jewelry, do you prefer no clasp looks?
I do, because I'm one of those people that likes to just pull it over my neck and be ready to go out the door. I also like long necklace designs. I'm wearing 2 different layered ones today, personally. But yeah, I'm into the longer necklace things, or longer necklace styles.
I love to be able to see my own jewelry, so I have a hard time wearing short necklaces because then you can't see it unless you're running to the bathroom or
that's a good
only
point.
when you're leaving the house.
yeah, being able to see what you're wearing is nice.
Mhm. I am making little findings for the ends because I'm going to cut your silver silk into 3 pieces for a triple strand bracelet. I'm going to try and figure out if you have any tips on how I can get something stuck onto it other than a jump ring. That would be awesome.
Well, so the open knits allow for anything to be sewn through, and it stops it because it's also just made of wire. But my recommendation, I cut this wire without even thinking what I was doing, would be to string or thread some wire through the chain before you made
Mm-hmm.
your loops and kind of attach it that way. I could do a little
Mm-hmm.
quick demonstration to show you if you'd like.
Okay.
Here, let me finish cutting this. So if I have my, here, let me also turn this thing. Oh, there we go. I have my non-tarnish silver-plated silver wire from Softflix company that was included in our kit. Just gonna make sure that the end is nice and straight. But you can take your chain and you can go ahead and just sew through a bead or 2 into the chain, just like that.
Oh, okay, okay,
So that
okay.
grapples. It's got something to like hook onto, and then you can like wrap it however you want to your heart's content.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
The pressure's on.
And your favorite
the
ending?
camera's on you.
Is your favorite ending on silver silk to use your crimp? This nice little, this beautiful, actually, it's really, really well made crimp.
Thank you. They are custom made for the SilverSilk, and
I love it.
I don't use them all the time though. I like to have a variety of different ways to finish, depending on, and it really does depend on what the design itself is going to be. But I've done bracelets that have, these simple little findings onto just a necklace and call it good, which is, I guess, in a sense of what I'm doing today. And then we have bracelets that I've made where I've used 5 to 7 strands of silver silk at a time. And that process just requires a whole different setup with your finding that you pick out,
When you
So
use
in that
5 to
case, you kind of
7,
have to use something else to slide all of those wires through.
that was going to be my next question. What do you do when you have 5 to 7?
So I went over to the bead shop, Kate Richburg's store, and she's got these tube sliders that you can use.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. I keep pulling the wrong one here. All because I also keep talking. And you can open up that tube slider and you can slide in the ball chain pretty easily.
I love that tube sliders. Okay, that would be a great thing because I'm definitely going to be getting more of this silver silk. I haven't even tried carrying it yet, Nile. This is going to be awesome. This is my first. Okay, so I know you sent me some samples, but with COVID, I have to say I never got a chance to use it. This is my
Oh,
first
that's
time
okay.
touching it, and it's really fun because it's so thick. It's like ready to go.
Yeah, I feel like the chain is a nice alternative to other types of chains out there. And what makes it cool is that versatility aspect that you can use it for a lot of different ways. And if you guys pan over in the virtual world here that we're in, want to hop over onto the YouTube and check out my giant library of SilverSilk tutorials, you can really find a whole different variety of videos and different demonstrations that I've done using SilverSilk. So it's not just a linear type of chain. I've really tried hard to find different uses for it.
I like that necklace that you showed me when we did the IG live, where you just had like a section of beads in the center and then you put it on over your head very
Yes.
easily. I was like, oh, I like that.
Oh, thank you.
You know what's really handy about the little ball inside this cage is like as I tighten up my coil, I can catch the ball. So I don't have to worry about my cage falling
Oh
off. Well,
yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. I'll have a report for you.
Yeah, I want to know all the deets. Let's see. So, Jamie, what did I think I forgot already what you had included. So, can you tell us
I put
about
in
what?
a handmade koa. Koa is acacia wood that's from Hawaii,
Hmm.
and it is a design of a monstera leaf that my friend, a
Oh.
cabinet maker, when he retired, he came to the store, and I was like, "What are you going to do with your time now?" And I was like, "Do you want to design some wood charms for me?" And he was like, "Oh, alrighty." And so we came out with a whole line of beautiful koa wood
I'm gonna flash it on cam
charms.
real quick. I don't know if you had a chance to already, but I fell in love with. I was wondering where this came from or who it came from.
Looks nice.
Ah, thank you. I'm gonna try and I'm shooting for a triple strand bracelet with this awesome clasp that I found in here. I'm gonna guess, is that
So
Jill's?
pretty.
Because in my haste to open up all of the bags, I'm pretty sure that's Jill's
Actually,
clasp.
I'll leave it on mine so you guys can kind of see what I'm up to here. So I wanted to attach my leaves here onto this crimp
Oh,
to
cute.
both wires here. And I just realized I didn't trim this enough. And what I'm doing is I'm gonna wrap up this last one here, and then after I crimp it, that's when I think I'm gonna get a little crazy and try and do a little bit of bead weaving with sewing these onto the chain up to a certain point. That way I kind of have a bit more of a graphic piece where it's really like two different elements that meet in the middle, especially color-wise, but I think that that would add a lot of fun texture to this design.
Jason said that Jill commented and said that's her clasp. I love that clasp so much. I'm so glad that it's in this.
Which one?
This chunky clasp, it's so awesome. And I think she has these on her website. I'm trying to think
Yes.
where.
Here, I'll pan over to you. Yeah, I love that. Jill included some
So
really, really nice stuff as well. Everyone really brought their A game with their products.
I saw that there's some cones, but in my design, I wanted your SilverSilk to lay flat on my wrist. Okay, I didn't want it to come like this, like when you pull something through a cone. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to have it lay flat. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I definitely wanted it to be as separate endings.
You mean kind of like as if it were braided and it just lays flat?
Yes.
Spacer bar?
What? I don't know if I can make a spacer bar with what I have here.
Oh yeah, there's no wire, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
So I'm going to show you guys how I crimp with my bindings.
Do a double coil.
This is my custom-made crimp. It's a single-strand end cap. And inside are little teeth that grasp onto the ball chain of either the capture chain or, in this case, the pearlesque chain. So what you do is when you trim off the ends here, if you need to, size your necklace, sometimes there's little residual wire pieces here that need to be plucked off. Your chain won't fray by any capacity. It's just sometimes that's just a residual wire piece from the knitting that happens. And I call them wire fuzzies. I haven't come up with a better term, but I quite like it because I remember it. So I just go with it. And then I just kind of roll and pinch the end there. And then you can open up your end cap if you need to with a pair of pliers. I'm just using some chain nose. Actually, these are crimpers from Zeron. And I open it up a little bit wider, and a couple millimeters makes a huge difference with making this crimp work a lot easier. Then you insert it into your end cap.
Yep, I can find one.
And then you can go in with a pair of flat nose pliers and simply press down. And you don't need any other glues. You can tug on it or special tools to make this work, and you've got something that's instantly like ready to go. And I'm going to go ahead and do that to both ends here, I think. I'm going to use up all of my SilverSilk for this piece. Okay. I'm going to go in and press it flat. I did dip my plier in a product called Tool Magic, and the Tool Magic was acquired from Softlex Company. And it's a coating that rubberizes the tip of any sort of item that you dip into the Tool Magic. In this case, it happens to be my wide nose pliers, and I dipped it twice to get a nice solid coating, but I've been wearing and tearing it down over time now, so I think I need to recoat it. It prevents your finding from getting scratched and marring and any other crazy stuff that happens, but also provides a very strong grip because it is a rubberized coating. So the finding, because it's so smooth, crimps quite easily. So I recommend having some Tool Magic on hand just in case. Next, I'm going to grab some of these primitive Tila beads, and I'm going to, I'm sure Kate's going to correct me later. I'm going to sew some of this onto my chain in a randomized pattern. So I just grabbed some fire line and a needle. This is a size 12 needle, I believe. It's a fairly thick one, as you can see, and it's got a decent size hole there that allows me to thread in my thread, pardon the redundancy there, pretty easily. And at this point, I'm gonna sew through my capture chain, and I'm going to knot it here at the end. Okay, just a couple of overhand knots to make a nice square knot. And now I'm just gonna pick up a bead, and then I can just sew directly onto the capture chain to get this really cool, randomized, fun pattern. And you can really go all over the wire. You can stay in a certain area. I know that my thread's gonna get tangled up in all the tools maybe, but I'm kind of just experimenting and seeing what feels right. And I kind of wanna go all the way around the chain. So I'm gonna just try and sew it into random areas and see what happens. Luckily, the thread does disappear into my chain. And it starts to kind of look like, I don't know, like pieces of glass or something. And these colors worked out so well with the picked out, with the flowers that Kay also picked out, not flowers, the leaves that Kay also picked out. And this is going to be one of those techniques that I probably may not end up finishing both sides of the design on at once, but that's okay. I just wanted to show you guys what I was going to do for this and go from there. You doing okay, Jamie? Think she's real focused. Here we go. I should probably look to see what everyone's doing here, or how everyone's doing. Deborah says, love Tool Magic.
Okay, talk to him.
Super cool stuff.
Okay, Nile, I'm back. Tell me if you can hear me.
I can hear you perfectly.
My phone.
Did you want me to add your face back on stream or no?
Yeah.
There we go. Do you want me to pan over to your camera?
Sure. I'm getting feedback, Jay.
Yeah, because I don't put the hold on. Because hold on.
Let me unmute.
Okay. So
Good.
I am in the process. Sorry, I totally disappeared for a second and
That's
fought
okay.
with my phone and I came back. So I'm trying to put it together now just on one end and seeing if I like this look while my brain goes on to making a necklace. So I'm trying to do two things. I'm
Ooh.
trying to finish one project while my brain is already planning out what it's going to do for the second. I'm actually thinking this might be super cute braided. Let me try that instead.
I have so many things at my table that like everything that I sew this with gets tangled up on something. So I need to clear out some stuff on my table so that I can have the freedom to bead weave to my heart's content. I love these Japanese pearls. I think they're just so pretty.
See if I like that.
Oof, there we go. It's like,
I
man,
do.
so much stuff at my table.
So if you're just joining us, Nile and I are playing with our unboxing, and I am I am working on the fly. So I was telling my staff, I was like, I'm a little bit nervous. I think I'm sweating just a little going into this. It's always like that challenge of, will the creative flow work? Because some days it's just not, and some days it does.
I do
Oh, I
have a
do
question
like
for
it
you,
braided.
Jamie, when you get
Yeah,
a sent. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh my gosh.
yeah. I'm gonna go with that.
Where Diana is asking, where did you get your magnifying glasses?
Oh, we sell them. The story behind this is when we first opened the store, my mom was in her 50s and I must have been in my late 20s. And she's like, I can't see. And honestly, I couldn't understand what she was talking about. I was like, what do you mean you can't see, Mom? She's like, yeah, when I hold things up to my face, she goes, it's not focused anymore. And I was like, oh. So my mom crafts, sews, stitches, knits, and she was very particular about what kind of device she would use to magnify, because some things
Mm.
made her head hot,
Mm-hmm.
other things were making her leaving creases on her. And so we tried three different brands. This was back in before the year 2000. We tried three brands, and this Optivisor is the one that we picked. And it just, you can wear it, as my clever mom did, as a headband. And so you don't wear
Oh.
it on your forehead like the picture on the front says. She started wearing it like a headband. So it's perched on top of her head. And then
Mm-hmm.
she brings it down like bifocals. Anyhow, thanks to my mom, we have sold thousands of these because she also time tested it. And in 24 years, she's only gone through two.
Seriously?
Yup. So that's a
That
product
is
that lasts, man.
crazy. I'm gonna
Yep.
need one of those here
Yep.
soon because, like,
Okay, I'm going to braid it. This is it. This is going to be my
are you gonna
braided
braid?
project.
Yay!
Yes.
You got a
Jason, can I
design
borrow
together.
your hand real quick to hold it? Because I don't have anything to hold it steady for me for the camera.
Can they
All
grab
right.
that magnifying glass on your online store?
They can. You can hold it right
Okay.
here. Perfect. So I'm going to go right over and bring those together.
And I believe the address is thebeadgallery.com.
It is. It is.
That was a good question from Diana.
So once I turned my 40s, oh my God, I was like, I need this. And now that I'm in my 50s, I'm like, I cannot function without my mag eyes.
Miss Tracy is asking, has she had to change the magnification over the years?
Nope, she still uses the original one. It comes with two lenses. So the original one, which I have on, is I think the 1.6, Jason?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the 1.6, which is
Oh.
perfect for work about 13 inches away from your face.
Oh, okay. That's a good bit of
Yeah.
distance.
Yeah, because that's usually the distance that our hands are, right, with our tools away from our face.
I mean, they're supposed to be, but I can't guarantee mine always are.
Ooh, I'm gonna put this color right here on the end. So one thing when you're doing a bracelet, it's always good to have a heavy piece on the one side, because when you go to wrap it around your wrist, you need that weight, that sense of gravity to pull it so it doesn't fly. Because everyone's done this. So you bring it and it goes boop. So if you have something heavy like this, that'll stop it. Oh my God, that's beautiful, this charm.
I love everything that's happening on your table.
I'm going to use this as a charm clasp too. I know it's a toggle, but I do love it as that. My bracelet ended up a little smaller than expected because
I wonder
I
if you could
wanted
use the
to.
beads from Sarah's or Softflex's mix, maybe.
Oh,
to
thank you
help
for reminding
compensate.
me. Yes. Great idea. I'm going to wrap
Yeah.
one
She's
bead
got,
on one side.
everyone's got, or well, she mentioned in her video that everyone's got a little bit of a different mix because they are from a bigger mix. So that's kind of cool that we're not all the same with the bead mix there.
That is
Here, I'm going to
perfect.
pop over to my camera so you guys can see a close-up.
Thank you.
So this is me sewing the little primitive tielets on. And then I just did this at the end. But I'm not sure how far I want to take this up just yet. Because I'm thinking that I'd like to go about the same distance as my tassel. So I might go a little bit more up here. And then I want to make sure that I leave just enough space to be able to wrap it around one's neck. But sewing these on, you guys, is so easy. We have a Facebook friend asking, where do you get inspired to make a project? That was sort of the topic of our conversation earlier, wasn't it, Jamie?
Mm-hmm. Like
So,
when you just have a bag of beads, how do you start? How do you
yeah,
start?
I wanted to ask you first because I feel too put on the spot for that.
Where do you get inspired to make a project?
Oh, Jason, you know what's so funny? Nile was just reading that out to me at the
Really?
same
Okay.
exact time. Thank you so much. Like you and Jason, I have so much help. I'm like, oh my gosh.
No.
I think the inspiration for this came from form first and then the function of how it would be put together. So when I looked at all the
Ooh.
pieces, I was like, okay, what works in size together? And I think that's actually kind of important for everyone who's watching. I'm just going to go over it really, really quick.
Mhm.
When you're looking at all your pieces and you have small, medium, and large, I think when I work with customers, the first thing I tell them is like, first, which grabs your attention, because your style is going to be determined. Like, if do you like tiny things? Do you like chunky? And I know that there is a preference after all these years, or people will gravitate towards something, whether it be a color, a shape, or a size, right? And so I would say the first thing is to kind of pick in that. And for me, I started with this because mostly I'm on the phone with Nile right now. He is the creator of the SilverSilk. So my thought was, I'm going to work with this while he's here. So what can I do? Now, I like chunky. This piece here is by itself maybe about, what would you say, 4 millimeters in diameter?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. So since it's 4 millimeters, I knew that it would look thin on my wrist. And the only way to build something up that's thin into thick is using multiple pieces. So once you decide that you want to use something in multiple pieces, it's, do you want to twist it, braid it, lay it flat, and how are you going to hold it together, right? What is the function at that part to make that look happen? A lot of times you have to go with what you got. So I looked at what I had, and I don't have multi-strand clasps. So I was like, well, I'm going to have to lay them out. And so I was going to do a 3-strand like this and just go with that. And the idea sort of develops as it went into braiding it, because I was like, oh, now I want it to look a little bit more complicated to the eye, which a braid tends to do. It does help to make it look a little bit more, I wouldn't say fancy, but there's a little bit more to it when it's braided versus just straight lines.
Just intricate, a little bit more depth in the design.
Yes. So it looks complicated versus if I had just done 3 next to each other, which is more simple, straight lines. And there is more of a look that's even to the eye. So if that's attractive to you and you don't like things that are, I wouldn't call it disharmonious, but where it doesn't just have that straight line look to it, then you can you could have just gone with the straights. I braided mine. I didn't have any endings. So one thing you could have done is take all three of your ends and put them through a cone. But I also didn't want it to bunch up into one thick piece like this. I
Mm-hmm.
definitely wanted it to look separate. So I had to make my own end coils on each end, which you can do just by using your wrap and tap. Then I knew I loved Jill's clasp. And this piece is over an inch long, so 1.25 inches. So when I was braiding it and cutting my lengths, I knew this part had to be about 5 inches, knowing that this is going to be about 1.25 inches added to the length. Now, what I didn't account for was the braiding was going to, because I was going to do straight, was going to suck it up. So Nile was like, put a bead at the end. Now, when you put a bead at the end next to a clasp, you are going to be limited. You cannot put a large bead next to a lobster. Otherwise, you won't be able to pull the trigger. So
True.
that's just part of the function of this lobster. So now I am down to looking for a bead that will work next to the lobster. So I do have the pearls. What
It
I'm already
sounds like
thinking.
you are like excellent at math and equations, technical thinking there. Are
it
you hiding
only
a secret? Are you secretly some sort of a genius that we
math
just
genius. No, I was like the person in math class that the teacher used to, oh my God, in high school, one of my teachers actually made fun of me on a test. He was like, how is it possible that you could get this many wrong? He's like, you beat the average, the
Oh my
law of
gosh,
averages.
that's
And
terrible.
I know that left an impression on me of of having poor math skills. But then as I started to teach people, I think, the prize or the silver lining out of that is I feel very, very patient when I explain, because I know when people don't understand, it's not like they're choosing not to understand. Sometimes they just don't, and you
Oh, for
work with
sure.
that. So
Well, and I
I've
guess
had
that
that.
teacher must have not recognized that everyone learns in a different way. Not everyone is like, for me, I don't read stuff. I never have been able to. I had no interest in it. And, to process that information is just not easy. I'm a very visual
Mm-hmm.
based person. I have to see things in order to really understand them. And if I can get my hands
Mm-hmm.
on it, then I really can just whip out whatever I need to do. You know what I'm saying? But to go back through and tediously pick out and pinpoint and read things, you can file that under FI for forget it.
Forget it. Okay, so I'm going to try and do something with this silver silk. I don't even know if it's possible. Are you allowed to just twist it to finish it at the ends?
Jamie, we are never going to put a restriction on any of your creativity. You do what you want to manipulate and how you want to create the
All right, I'm going to try because
products here.
I want to see. Okay, so here's another problem. I'll show the audience. I don't like the fact that it's thick. It's coming to a large clasp, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's thin and skinny here. So I was like, what can I do to build it up? So I'm going to try and weave through the silver silk and create just a
Ooh.
little, like an orbital type of piece to go around the bead. And I'm trying to think, how can I do that?
An orbital piece.
Yeah, so it'll just kind of like hang on either side.
Oh, and I'm wondering, I think it
So
might
kind of
have,
like couch it.
yeah, I think it could have been done earlier before you put your pearl on. So for example, let me pop over to my camera
Yes,
and show
show
you.
me. Because then I can cut this bead off super easy.
And in fact, I need to grab some silver silk off my table here to demonstrate. So if you have your pearl, and if you have a little bit of extra silver silk, then, and you can really do this with any bead, because I've done this before once, and it sounds like this is what you're wanting to do maybe, but grab some more
I'm
here.
watching Nile, I'm watching my teeny tiny screen with my mag eyes on right now. So I can.
You can thread right through the silver silk, and then you
Yeah.
kind of just go back and forth to create your
Yes,
round
that's exactly what I want to
spiral.
do. Okay. Thank you. That's what I'm
Yeah.
going to do. All right. We're in. Okay, and put this on.
Kind of like these two colors together. I don't know why. This is my teal color, which is, it's funny, whenever I'm making the silver silk, I have different colored tinsels, so I can really experiment with what the color is going to be produced. And the chain on the inside, the ball chain, like that color also has to be part of the equation for the final color of the chain. So I've noticed that any color that's white or lighter colored really does reflect light differently than gold would. And you just get a different color because of it. Okay, I have one side done, and I think we have about 14 minutes left, which I'm not going to be able to finish, but I can get started. And the idea here is that I wanted to just get these kind of even, maybe a little bit staggered even, maybe make this a little longer in its beaded loveliness, and maybe just do a quick little knot up here to kind of seal the deal. There we go. I like stuff staggered. I think it's just visually pleasing. And again, this is one of those necklaces that you can throw over your neck. You can make this a little shorter, in fact, maybe. Just do that. In the interest of getting this project done quick, I'm gonna make this side shorter. There we go. And now I just have this lovely little, like, very wearable design that, you know, uses a chain, and it uses many of the beads in a very interesting and different way. Or you can even just not have it knotted there, and you can wear it just as two separate pieces and make these both exactly the same in length and have them both bead woven. I think that would be equally as stunning. And I saw that our TGBE peeps already photographed their designs and got it posted into our little chat group because they're overachievers over here.
I think that's why we all survived COVID as a group too. We put a bunch of overachievers together.
It's so true. We have a lot of really, really motivated and dedicated folks that we are lucky to work with.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they push me, we push each other, and we just do fun stuff.
Oh my God, Nile,
what
if we're not overachievers? What if we're just achievers?
I think we just achieve. We are just
achievers. Okay, I think I like this look. Let's see what it looks like. And again, you guys are really welcome to. I learned some new things today. That was exciting.
Yay!
It's my birthday this month, so this is my first surprise.
It's your birthday month. Happy birthday month. Also, I need to know your skin routine because I don't know how you have never aged at all.
My skin routine.
Yes.
I guess it's surround yourself by good beads and good people.
Oh, that's a nice answer.
What kind of base metal is the SilverSilk made out of?
What is SilverSilk made out of, Mr. Nalai?
So the inside chain is a iron ball chain, and it's been plated with a color. And then the wire is a copper core wire that has a permanently enameled color on top of it.
All right, so you need to change it, guys.
Do what? Oh, there we go. The color does not chip off, and it doesn't tarnish. And then, of course, the tinsel in it is just a tinsel. But I've had customers praise that the wire has sustained its color and its stability, robustness over time very well. You did it! Oh my gosh! I'm proud of you. That is gorgeous.
And thank you for that suggestion. Oh
Oh
my
my gosh.
gosh.
But that is all you, and that is absolutely a stunner.
Okay, so now I'm going to see if I can put some of these super cute things on here. Or maybe let's take a vote. If you guys were going to bid on something like this for a fundraiser, would you want it to be simple like this and just kind of call it a day? I am going to add a really big jump ring at the end. Oh, wouldn't that be cool if you hooked into here? And then I could hang the leaf off of it. Let me try that. Let me try that.
I have to post some of these comments up because they're just too sweet. Lorena says, looks great, Jamie.
Thank
You've got some fans out there. Pamela says, never stop learning. Pamela's right. We never really will either if we keep ourselves open. Rosalinda says, love it, Nile. Thank you. So
I love this.
we've got our friend here saying simple. Simple is good. We've got Miss Mimi from Jupiter, Florida saying as is, so chic. Miss Tanya says beautiful. Sue says love the bracelet.
Go SilverSilk, go.
I think that's your design though. Like you put that together through whatever mathematical geniusness that lives in your head and made it possible to not have to use the findings to still get a spectacular design. So I'm just proud to be your friend.
I am so proud to know the man who made SilverSilk myself.
Yes.
I will have to size this. So like if someone does get this bracelet, oh my gosh, that would be so cool. Whoever put this really large piece in. Okay, so let's talk about scale. This is way too big. So I have to go and find something else to be this to be the end class. But this piece right here.
It's me.
Oh no, because I need it now. I need this piece back.
The big boy.
Yes.
Okay.
Do we have just a bigger ring that I could put in?
Maybe.
So I'm going to finish that. Maybe about the size of a penny. I think the size of a penny would be awesome. But this one, I think I'm going to do a necklace with. That's going to use all these beads that someone put in. Softflex, was that you that put these beads in here?
Which one?
These leaves.
Those are from, let's see. Those leaves are from Kay.
Kay, I love these.
Yeah, I loved my set too. Like I'm just like floored at how gorgeous they are. And they kind of look vintage to me, but they're probably not. But they do. I love how they look.
Oh, that's working out. So how's that if I do that as a simple knotted necklace with fall colors?
Ooh, I love that. I love that a lot.
Maybe, you know what I could do? What if these were knotted clusters? So rather than stringing through them, I'll knot it. So I'll put each of these on its own pin. So then I'll cluster them. So then the string can go. Do you guys like this in the center or pass? I always love finding what people like to see. A focal bead in the center.
I like the plainer one maybe.
Like this one? Or
yeah, because
this one?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, it kind of draws the eye down to a different space.
Yeah.
Okay.
Diane says, gorgeous leaves. Oh, so Susan says, she said they are vintage. That they were vintage. So that's kind of cool.
I love vintage anything. Glass. You know, Nile, I'm trying to finish this because I have no free time during the week running the store. I'm like, if I don't do this now, this is not going to happen. So I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm finishing at least this one donation.
I usually bring my leftover projects to my after show called Roundup that happens on my SilverSilk and More Facebook page at 5:30 on Tuesdays. And yes, that was a shameless plug. So, but it's fun to like kind of finish up my projects there whenever I've got everyone's eyes and pressure on to like finish the project. But it's helpful in the fact that I finished something for the evening, especially something that I started. And then I just feel just glowy because I finished up something.
You're awesome. Guess what, Nila? I have 16 inches of this chain left.
Seriously? You barely
It's going to
used
be a
any.
necklace. I'm making a matching necklace right now. I'm going to start it. How much time do we have left? Will I finish this puppy today?
You have approximately 3.5 minutes.
Okay, I'm going to do one cluster. One cluster it is.
Meanwhile, I'm trying to see if I can wrap up my thread here to like finish
I love that.
design.
Go to the big screen on yours. I want to see.
Okay. Let's do this. I'm just pulling my threads all the way through the SilverSilk, and the chain seems to do a good job of hiding it once I've knotted it a few times and then pulled it through. And then I just have this one here at the end. I think I only finished it because I cut that little end shorter on the bead woven part. But that's okay, because I also now have a pretty good sized necklace for anyone to wear. So I don't mind that. And I will put it on to demonstrate how one can wear it.
And tell me what you stitched that on with again.
I used Fireline 6-pound test. Or if you have any recommendations on thread that you may carry in your store, Jamie, I'm happy to.
Oh no, I like the
take you up on
Fireline
that
too.
suggestion.
I do.
Right. I think I have something finished, which I did not anticipate happening. So here, I'm going to pen over to my face and see if I can wear this. Get sparkles and beads. And you just throw it on, and you are out the door.
That is, oh my God. That looks so good on you too.
It's got a little jingle to it too. I kind of like that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I want to make a kit for my store with like a custom SilverSilk, okay? And then I'm going to do like all gems dripping from it.
Ooh,
Can
I
we
want
do
one
that?
of those
Yes. That would be so awesome. You did awesome. I love it.
kits. Oh, you guys are so sweet out there. Dav says beautiful. Do you know Dav? Oh, is it?
You know, I think
go
I
ahead.
only through Facebook.
She lives in, I believe it's Dav that lives in Hawaii.
Nice.
And
You
or her
did
sister
so
Marianne Doy. But she's in Arizona. I feel like I've read their addresses enough because they're big supporters of SilverSilk, huge supporters. And I love seeing their names pop in, and they're just so complimentive and eager to create, which excites me, and good people, as is a lot of the Silkies. Mary Jo says, gorgeous Nile, love the necklace. Thank you, Mary Jo.
Okay, so I'm just going to wrap up with one more.
Dav says, yes, she's in Hawaii. So you have to reach out to her and get her to come
Yes. Yes. Okay, so walk me through this. This is our project together because on my SilverSilk, I'm going to turn it into a necklace after the end. I'm going to add these as clusters. I think I'm going to cut the SilverSilk in half. I'm going to rejoin it with this piece in the center.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say I should do if I wanted to cluster all of these in one section? So they're going to be clustered in sections close to the middle ring.
Well, real quick, because we're hitting our time limit, but I will say if you used a head pin and stitched it right through this chain, the head will stop it from coming out, and you can attach anything like a jump ring if you make a simple loop on the other end.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay.
So,
Now, what do you do if I already have it wrapped? Like I did all my components.
well,
Would
you
you
can
just
just
do like
attach
a
it to the
jump ring?
simple loop that you make with the head pin.
Oh, okay.
I'll show you after this.
Okay. Okay. Yes, we'll do it. So I'm going to show my finish with the silver silk with this beautiful, I love it, this charm with this.
Oh, yay!
I love this clasp. It's so nice. And thank you to everybody for the donations because the wire was from Softlex. The
Mhm.
pearls, I love these little glass pearls in here. So this was awesome. Somebody just asked,
Beautiful.
is this project with products from all the suppliers? It is. So everybody in the Great Bead Extravaganza, the whole team donated all these different pieces. 2 people can win this set. So don't forget to enter. Don't forget to enter on the page, okay?
Yep, got to go to the Great Bead Extravaganza group. If
Yes.
you're not a part of the group, come join us. We have a bead show, a big bead show coming up next week. And we start with our preview on Friday of next week, and then followed by, what did Sarah say? 14 hours of us presenters. So mark your calendars. We're going to be there.
It'll be
Beautiful,
fun.
Jamie.
We will see you there. I'm going to post my lovely Silver Silk projects. Thank you for this. I'm so glad we partnered up. You really got me to use something I never used in my life. That's a first.
Amazing. Well, I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for our friends out there, and this is such a fantastic excuse to hang out with you and be together. So I guess the next time we'll catch everybody, it'll be at the Great Bead Extravaganza next week, and you can also look for our page for today's special sales. Some of us have sales that end today, and some of us have sales that end next week. So
Screenshot this.
yeah, there you go.
I put
That's
all of
yours.
my
And
cool
then
wood charms on sale
beautiful.
today in case anybody wants a cool charm. There's a hula dancer. There's a moon.
Beautiful.
Check it out. Thanks, you guys. Thank you,
Yay.
Nile. You're a wonderful partner.
You too. We'll do this again soon, and see you guys out there.